Welcome back to The Couch here on Aurora Television. Something else that I love talking about is having babies. Not personally, but our next presenter, Cara Walker's due to have one very soon. And with her, looking at her options, is a midwife called Pip. Over to you, Cara.
Thank you, Fred. And this is a topic very close to my heart right now. I'm joined with Pip Brennan from Community Midwifery WA. Welcome to The Couch, Pip.
Thanks so much for having me along.
Oh, great. I'm so excited to have you here. So let's get straight into this. First of all, what are key things you would like mothers to be to know?
Well, I guess what I'd really love is for women's choices in childbirth to be informed ones. If you know you're pregnant or you think you're pregnant, the first port of call is going to be your GP. And your GP is probably going to ask you two things. Do you have private health cover? And what obstetrician would you like? It's unlikely they're going to say, hey, would you like midwifery-led care? So many women are making choices without all the options on the menu in front of them.
Okay, so what do you think women should research?
Well, there's kind of three main things making up a birth. It's the person who cares for you, your clinical carer. Is that going to be an obstetrician or a midwife leading your care? Where you're going to have your baby, hospital, home, birth centre. And who you're going to have as your companion, husband, possibly doula, mother, etc., etc.
Okay, and why do you think someone would actually choose midwifery care?
Well, I think for a lot of people, you know, because culturally, you know, as I say, you go to your GP and they say, you know, what obstetrician would you like? And you go, okay, well, I'll follow along. Yep. And for some people, it's not until they actually go into hospital on the big day that they realise their obstetrician's not going to be there with them for that really vulnerable time before they actually have the baby. Especially for a first time, it's often a fairly long process, you know, the first stage of labour, and the person that will be looking after you will be a midwife and you won't know them.
Okay.
They will be a complete stranger.
Yeah, no, I do think it's very important, absolutely. And so what are the options for a continuity of care with the midwife?
Well, it's funny because, you know, continuity of care, which, you know, is basically you have one carer that's for pregnancy, the big day and postnatal.
Okay.
There's a lot of research out there that supports it's got much better outcomes for mother and baby. Unfortunately, it's not always easy to actually obtain that model of care. We are in the process of changing in Australia, but change sometimes feels a little bit like watching paint dry. But yes, you do have some options. You have the Community Midwifery program. So that's Community Midwifery WA. We started the program in 1996 and it's continued to grow and develop. And now it is a WA health service, which we partner to deliver. So essentially it's free. It's a free service for any woman experiencing a low risk pregnancy who lives within 50 kilometres of the CBD of Perth. You know, so it's basically a Perth-wide service. And you can have the same midwife looking after you, and you can have a mixture of clinic visits and home visits, and she's there with you on the big day. And of course she has her backup midwives, birth being what it is. You know, if she's possibly not there, there will be another midwife, but again, you will know them very well. You can have some, there are other options. For example, there are some independent midwives who work for themselves. We are, in Australia, we're changing our legislation around independent midwifery. It's all in a bit of a state of flux, and so they're not, unfortunately, as many independent midwives as there used to be, but I'm hoping over time that will change.
That will go.
And we do have a thing called team midwifery at certain hospitals, like King Edward, where you're assigned to a team. So hopefully over the pregnancy, going to classes, clinic visits and so forth, you'll have a chance of knowing your midwife. But with the Community Midwifery program, it's what they call caseload midwifery, so you get your own midwife.
I like that. So you really, and I'm experiencing that now. I'm in the program, so I'm getting to know my beautiful midwife, and we're becoming more like friends. So when it comes to the big day, as we call it, I have someone personal there who's connected with me, and I'm going to feel safe in that environment. So where can people find out more, do you think, about this?
Well, Google is your friend. Whenever you have any kind of a health issue, we find that most people find us through Google. So we have a website. It's www.cmwa.net.au. And essentially we have a lot of information on birth choices, plus we have information on the Community Midwifery program. You can actually go online and book onto the program online as well. We have a lot of classes because we think it's really important that you empower yourself with knowledge to have a great birth. You may sometimes find that pregnancy classes are about teaching you about what the hospital wants you to do. But if you are really wanting to have the birth that you want, then you do need to, for example, you do need to understand a little bit about the health system. You need to understand yourself and what it is that you want, and hopefully you have a carer who understands what you want and will support you to get that.
Who can work with you. That's
Absolutely,
fantastic. Get your information. So there is an abundance of information out there. Head to the Couch website, thecouch.com.au. Click on the link and we'll be directed through to Pip Brennan and the Community Midwifery WA. Even if you're not wanting to have a home birth, just have a chat to the women there and understand your options, and that's what it's all about, making this day your day, not what the hospital wants it to be. Thank you very much, Pip, for coming on the couch today. It's lovely to meet you.
You too.
And back to you, Fred.
Thank you very much, Cara, and I can see Cara having a midwife very, very soon.